Hey guys, this is Bridget with Morning Soulshine. We're so excited that you are here with us on today. And guys, we have a very, very special time coming up this weekend. If you're on Clubhouse, or even if you're not on Clubhouse, yeah, Clubhouse is an audio app. So if you don't have the app, download it today, because Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to have a conference. It's a narcissist abuse recovery conference. And I have with me today Yolanda Holly Blessed, number one. She's Holly Blessed. And she is with me and she is my co host. And we're going to talk about narcissistic abuse as well as domestic violence. So, welcome to Morning Soulshine, Yolanda. How are you tonight?
I am fabulous. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. I mean, this time of recovery is so important. You know, on social media, we find that a lot of people are, really having a difficult time with narcissist abuse. Really, really having a hard time dealing with, being in relationships that were very toxic. And so, Yolanda, I know that you have had your experience in narcissistic relationships. Can you talk to us a little bit about your experience, how you felt, and how did you recover?
Sure. I call it a situationship because a narcissist is not capable of reciprocating true love. And so the situationship that I was in was a shock for me. Because I grew up sheltered, I did not know that such people could treat others in such a horrible way. And you know, I guess I just thought that if I loved my husband, that he would love me back. And that was not the case. And it turned out to be that the person that introduced himself to me was just a mask. And after we got married, the mask fell off. And it just horrible things began to happen. And I did not realize who he truly was. you know. But by the time I really realized that, it was kind of late in the game, so to speak. And so for me, it was, like I said, a shock. I was young, I was naive, I came right from my parents' home. This is first and only time I was married. And so I knew nothing as far as experience was concerned about marriage. And so he was about 8 to 10 years older than me. And so he had experienced marriage previous. And, if I think back on it, we were not equally yoked. But the thing about it is that it was a treatment that I had never experienced before. And I knew in my heart of hearts that I needed to get away. I needed to get out of that I deserved better, that I didn't deserve to be treated so horribly. you know? And don't get me wrong, there were okay times, but then there were more bad times. And I came to realize that, and as I thought, I don't want my children to see me being treated this way, because I didn't want my daughter to end up with a similar um, companion, and I didn't want my son to behave the way his father was behaving. And so I began to think about my children, not just myself. And I knew that I had to get out of the relationship. And the thing about it is that I had always been taught that you work it out. You stay and you pray, and that's what, the church taught me. You stay and pray. And I tried that and it didn't get better. It got worse. When I went to the church for help, I went to the bishop and I told him the warfare that I was experiencing. He told me, "Welcome to the club." That didn't help me. So I went to one of the mothers of the church and spoke to her about it. And she was honest with me. And she said, "Honey, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I've never experienced anything like this." And I actually respected her answer better because that was honest. But the fact of the matter is that I had lost my voice and I was unable to articulate what I was going through to anybody. I would look in people's eyes and hope and pray that they would be able to read the anguish in my eyes and just know how to help me. But no one was able to help me. And I felt like I was falling down a black hole. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Get Out, where the man fell down the black hole. I felt like I was falling down the black hole, and I couldn't get a grip to hold on to anything, that I was getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And I couldn't find my way out. And that's when things got really, really bad. I remember I was in my bedroom and I fell to my knees and I cried out to God. And I said, God, you gotta help me because nobody else could help me. And I remember sitting on my bed, and I remember the husband walked in, and I looked in his eyes and I could see his mind spinning, and I knew he was making a decision. He was making a decision whether to leave or to stay. And he had made the decision to leave because I had been asking him to leave, and he had been fighting against me, saying, I'm not leaving. And the next day, he left. And God answered my prayers. But then I said, Jesus, how am I going to pay all these bills by myself? So, you know, I ended up walking away from my home that I built from the ground up, taking my children out of private school and starting a new life. And it was hard. It was hard, 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 you know, but God, he made a way and I was able to do that. And I'll yield the mic back over to you, Sister Bridget.
Wow, Yolanda, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. And Yolanda is one of our speakers on this weekend. And so we're so happy to have her. And her story is it's not just a lonely story because she makes it out. She makes it out and she's going to tell us how she made it out. So come this weekend, it's a story of recovery. It's a story of restoration. And so we want to hear from her about how she made it out and how God is keeping her now. And we're just so proud of Yolanda. And so we just thank God for Yolanda. And so we also have with us Lady Storm. She's also one of our speakers this weekend. And I'm going to let her speak to us on, how did she recover from narcissistic abuse and just maybe her experience with narcissists. So, Lady Storm?
Yes, thank you. Wow. I don't know where to start. I guess in the beginning, my mom, my mother, she taught me to be honest and loyal to her. And if so, I will be loved. But it was conditional, right? Like it was so much. My mother was the boss, and that's great. But when I look back now, I see that my mom was like a mean girl. And like as an adult, my sisters and I dared to talk about it. And we found that my mother talked to me about my overweight sister and my selfish sister. I have many sisters and brothers, y'all. And that I was the prettiest. But then when I, as an adult, talked to my sisters, they're telling me they thought I hated them and mom hated me. It was just the opposite story. We all had different stories. My mom played the triangulation with her own children, y'all. And as a little girl, I think I saw it and I didn't want to come home. It was always screaming and yelling and arguing and just too much. I didn't want to come home, and my mother would tell you I rebelled and hung out with the wrong crowd, and I kept going. Yes, I did. I ended up being a homeless teenager, trying to find love, the love that I knew, which was conditional. And so I found myself in violent relationships with men. It starts off beautiful. They're having a rough time too. We're out on the street, the struggle love. and we get each other. And now I know I was being love bombed. Everything matched. It was so beautiful in the beginning. It was like a fairy tale until that one day they switched. The mask comes off and it's go get some money. I'm the boss. Make me happy. Walk on eggshells. And I said, okay, because I was used to that. Oh, I knew exactly how to walk on eggshells and make sure you're not going to get mad at me. And I fell into this trap of narcissism and prostitution and pimps and human trafficking and being a stripper. I mean, the whole thing. I was asleep, y'all. Now that I look back, I couldn't hear or see anybody that told me not to do what I was doing. I thought I could get it fast and I'll get out fast. Well, it took me almost 2 decades to finally get choked to the point where I passed out because I asked a man why he won't love me the way I want to be loved. He basically killed me. I just didn't die. He choked me till I passed out. I remember asking him, "What made you stop choking me?" And he said, "Because your eyes rolled back in your head." And that's when I knew, okay, I got to get out. I got to get out. I had heard that my parents had got a divorce. So I went to my dad. And my dad had shut down many years ago. He was very quiet. He didn't get involved. And he let me leave as a 13-year-old. So I was angry at him for many years. But this time I was desperate. And it was perfect timing because my dad had open arms and asked no questions. He said, "Are you done?" I said, "I'm done." And he helped me start over again. And to be alone was scary for me, but now it's like one of the best things that I do because I can hear now. I can hear myself think and I can sit down and read a whole book. And that's what I did. I was reading and educating myself on domestic violence and I fell upon the word narcissism and there it was. It was like music to my ears. This is the game I've been playing. There it was, exactly what my mother and all those so-called lovers did. The love bombing, the triangulation, the breadcrumbing, just this sabotage, right? And then to lift you back up. But are they really? Oh, all the games, it was right there in my face. And that is when I started my healing journey. I said, I gotta I gotta heal from this. I don't want to play it anymore. It's a dangerous game. The mind games that these abusers play. And so I've become this somewhat of a beacon for others. Like that's the only revenge I can think of is success, right? Success is the best revenge. So here I am opening up rooms and doing conferences and podcasts and posting on Instagram about abuse and what they do. I'm telling on them fools. I'm stopping the numbers. I'm making them shorter and cutting them off so we can have more survivors. I lost a lot of girlfriends, y'all, to domestic violence. Too many. I still have triggers. I have flashbacks still to this day. I need therapy. And part of it is to speak out. It helps me and it helps others. So that's where I'm at with it. Thank you so much.
Wow. Oh my gosh, y'all. I've heard Lady Storm's story. And Yolanda and I actually had this conversation just a couple days ago. And I was like, it has to be God that can keep Lady Storm's mind like it is now, to think about what she's gone through and to be able to speak and to help others. She's going to tell more of her story this weekend. So, guys, please come and join us in the narcissistic abuse recovery because we want to recover. We want to recover everything that was taken from us in these narcissistic abuse relationships, these toxic relationships, and we want God to restore everything that we've lost. So join us this weekend that's starting tomorrow night, Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Friday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday, we're going to start at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. So, guys, thank you all for being with us on Morning Soulshine with Bridget. I'm excited about this weekend because we just so excited that God is going to do and God is going to heal so many people. So, invite people to Clubhouse. It's the audio app. Download it now. And it's going to be in the other side of trauma. Thank you all. God bless you. And we will talk to you soon. Bye bye.